Cunnigham is here, our gardening expert. Pruning we're talking about today. I'm scared. I'm going over here.
With my weapons. Watch out, guys. Well, pruning is the thing that most people do wrong in the home landscape, I would say, out of all the possible things. And it's so important to learn how to do pruning. I'll be teaching a course next Saturday at Lockwood's Greenhouses, and we'll show you the website to catch up on some of these things. But there's a lot to it. Pruning is not just cutting off things to make them shorter. And that's where most people go wrong. It's so important to know how to get down inside each kind of shrub or tree, cut the branch at the right location, what to cut. And what surprises most people, this is the mini course, is that this is the time of year to do most of your pruning. Most trees and shrubs could be pruned well now while they're dormant, and this is a good break in the weather. So people could get out and be doing it these couple of weeks. All the fruit trees, all the grapevines especially get going on. Don't do the roses now. And even if shrubs flower in the spring, we don't want to be cutting off all their branches. But if they do need some reshaping, you could still take out selective branches of some of the spring flowering shrubs, because in this weather you can see their shape. There's not leaves in your way. So there's a lot to learn about pruning. At the end, we'll show you a website, because next Saturday is the Pruning Symposium at Lockwood's Greenhouses, and the day after that, I'll be doing an organic gardening class for the East Aurora Co-op at the high school. So I'll tell you about that one, too. Okay, we have questions?
We have a caller, Mary Ann from Lockport. Good morning. What's your question?
Yes, I have a large poppy plant outside. It's gotten too big. Can I divide that and move it?
Poppies are difficult because right now, if it's really a perennial poppy, you can't see where it is unless you've really well marked it. So I'm wondering if it is a poppy, but in any case, it would be better to move the poppy in the fall. But what you have to do is this spring enjoy it, then mark where it is, because they disappear during the summer, and then you move it in the fall. If this is a plant you can see, yes, in theory you could move it in early spring, but you may lose the spring bloom.
And talking about pruning a little bit more, I know you were saying too, when you see when you see those fun shapes,
yes,
that counts too as pruning.
That's advanced pruning. That's right.
That's advanced pruning. A more art form.
But when people see these spiral culicue of shrubs, that were meatball or something, they think, oh, that's low maintenance. It's a nice little. That's high maintenance. They have to cut that 3 or 4 times a year to keep it the way they look. So don't get the pom-pom shrubs if you want low maintenance.
Okay, good to know. All right, next caller, Jennifer. What's your question, Jennifer? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
I have a star magnolia tree in my backyard, and number one, it doesn't seem to be growing too much. We've had it for about 8 years. And number two, we have these shoots coming up from underground. How do I trim those?
Okay. If any tree is sending up shoots from underground, that's depleting its energy, and you should just cut those off. Those are trying to be the parent stock. It may have been a grafted tree, so just cut and dig and get those shoots out. If they're roots, leave them alone. And, you know, the star may take several years to finally get around to flowering. Don't be impatient. I would say give it some spring fertilizer, but it may take a few years to get to flowering, and honestly, lots of years, they get nipped in the bud. We'll get a May freeze just when it has its buds, and sometimes you lose your flowers that way. The year it flowers will be glorious. There's a website, next Saturday, pruning course, so go and check it out. And I'll also put there about this organic gardening day. We have a couple of these programs coming up around the area where we'll all learn about organic gardening, because that's what's in. Talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Sally, as always, for coming in on our Sunday morning. Well, coming up next,